Dealing with obstacles as you're trying to reach your goals. All right. Hey, y'all. This is Keshia Martin, your vibrational healing coach, and wanted to tap on to this topic because I know how important it is for you to reach your goals. Okay. Vibrational healing is all about getting into your vibes and the energy within you, breaking it past that, and helping you get back into that core energy that you were actually created in. All right. So, obstacles, what are they? They're all usually distractions. They come in the form of distractions, setbacks, people, places, things. Okay. They're all kinds of life events that can occur that were completely unexpected. And if you're not careful, will really derail you from exactly what it is you're trying to achieve. All right. This plays out in all aspects. This could be like your health, it can be your the wealth that you're trying to build with your business, your family, whatever. Okay. So if you're looking to build out your relationships, your health, and or success, especially with your business goals or in regards to your career, then this is a lesson for you. Okay. Now, these distractions, we all get them. And how to keep going when everything seems to take you three steps backwards is one of the biggest challenges we all face, like including myself. Yes, I do healing, yes, I do coaching, but guess what? Before all of that, I was a human being, still am a human being, and I need to recharge, and I deal with the same issues just like everyone else. Okay. So I can understand, and I definitely relate to many of you and what you are going through as well. um, so, with that being said, how do you overcome these obstacles? You know, one thing that I've noticed, I've gone through a divorce, I've gone through accidents, I've gone through big life changes, major things happening with friends, and still trying to find that balance, being able to like eat regularly, drink enough water, reply back to text messages, reply back to the messages from my clients, being there for my children, taking care of my own health and well-being, being there for family and friends. It can all be a lot, and we're supposed to do all of this stuff in like a 24-hour period and then restart, reset all over again for the next day. And it can be, especially if you have a lot going on, it can be very taxing on you with the levels of follow-ups you may have to do in your personal and your business life. So what exactly do you do so that way you don't fall off of your goal, you don't fall off your path, and you actually keep going, you know? So when these things derail you, maybe the job just didn't pan out, or maybe a big setback comes in where you're losing a lot of money, health wise, certain things started coming up with family or friends, or unexpected financial expenses. Maybe something happened something broke in your home, you had to do a major repair. All of these things can really like derail you mentally, emotionally, and physically at times, with their unexpectedness. Okay. And then you're caught trying to, one, deal with this emergency, and then putting your energy and your time all into that. And then two, trying to recover emotionally, because maybe like not all the time life is perfect where you just get a relaxed period. A lot of times you're still busy that you have to just keep going. Many of you may have multiple jobs. You may have two or three jobs, and you want to start your passion. You want to start this hobby, take your hobby to the next level. And it feels like you can't ever get to it. Like there's no time, there's not enough time in the day, there's not enough days at the end of the week for you to actually work on your craft. So you end up spending time to sleep, or you haven't spent time with your family. You couldn't tell the last time that you went out and actually lived a life, or you don't know how to build into something, and the resources that you need to get into to be able to learn the skill sets to develop and build your craft. So these mental setbacks keep you in the same position, which is feeling like stuck. All right. Now, what do you do to move forward? Now, what I've found is that first off, a lot of the reasons why we have these things called setback and distractions, they're really heavily tied into our emotions. And our emotions have a direct relation to our mindset. So what happens is when these emotional things occur, so maybe it's something on a personal level. A lot of times it is something on a personal level. It hits you in your gut, and when that emotion hits, it usually relates to like fear, anger, anguish, some form of pain, where you feel that you feel deflated. Okay, and then that immediate emotion affects your mind set on how you'll have an outlook on things presently in front of you and moving forward. So the thing happens, you get upset, you feel down. Maybe another thing happens, and maybe another thing happens after that. So like you went from here to whoo, and before you know it, you're like right here, and then you're trying to get yourself back up again. And how we have to do this, and it's easier said than done, is learning how to separate the mind from these emotions. Because the more we're connected emotionally into this feeling, this thing that's going on, the more we are a slave. So basically, our mind becomes a slave to our emotions, and therefore is now propelling based on what feeling that we're having a value on. And this feeling that we're having a value on, because it's bringing us down, it's showing how much our mind was determined on these factors for some level of validation. So in essence, what's happening is every time we set our goal, okay, we're using our passion and all of that energy, all that good stuff to get us to this spot, and then we hit a couple roadblocks, and then emotionally, we've deflated, and we've deflated, and now we're stuck. Okay, or now we feel as though we can't see past that thing. So the key here is learning how to disconnect from your emotions, learning how to pull your mind away from being triggered and having the words or having these things have power over you, and learning how to look at it as a separate entity, as like as a third party, kind of speak, like a business deal, like a third party, So where you're observing what you're feeling. You're observing how it's impacting you. You're observing why it's happening. You're observing the trigger and why that trigger existed. And you're doing it in a way where you're not overthinking, but you're just being. And it sounds all beautiful the way I just put it, right? But when you're in it, it don't go like that. Okay, trust me, I know. Especially if you're an empath, and especially if you're like an emotional being where you're like, you can pick up and feel things really heavily, which is something I have, and it can be a pain in the butt, because you're like so focused on these things, and emotionally you're like tied into it. But then finding that balance to separate yourself from it, so that way you're not responding in the same manner you did the last time you learned a lesson. Because what I definitely know is that you're never going to live this life without having something unexpected occur. Okay, there's always things that will occur and always happen. But to get to the level of alignment, as you're working to get to an alignment and working to get to those levels of synchronicity, while you are working to that process, things occur, new things happen. And then you have to learn how to be able to navigate, how to be able to move through that, and how to disconnect yourself emotionally from the outcome, from the obstacle, and so that way you can be able to move back in to your divine alignment, to move in synchronistic form, to overcome. So that is what is really needed, and it takes discipline, and it takes some techniques, which is what I teach. Okay, and I'll be doing that in my break free cycle. Breaking the cycle. Okay, it's so important that we break these cycles, these cycles that have kept us in the loop. And that cycle starts from running right into that obstacle, running into that one thing, boom, like this, and then getting caught into that emotional loop, and then before you know it, you're spiraling back down into this pit, and then trying to pull yourself back up again. Now they said the road to success is never like this straight line thing. It's like that ziggy zaggy, like all like this. And it's true, especially when you were doing it the old way. But trying to learn things the new way, the spiritually attuned to move synchronistically and in alignment, it does take some extra stuff. Okay, so you definitely want to be a part of this break the cycle, learning how to tap in, getting to an alignment, so that way you can overcome this and learning techniques to actually master your emotions, so you can do exactly like what we were speaking about, or what I was speaking about today, with levels of success. All right, so you're actually going like over your obstacles. All right, totally cool. So this is Keshia Martin. If you like this video, please hit like. Definitely subscribe to the Break the Cycle thing. I think it's here, or here, or here, or here, here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, now I'm being silly. But you have to sign up so that way we can find out the 411. I can help you get through this ish so you can move through the cycles. All right. Keshia Martin, if you have any questions, comment below. And share it to some friends if you can, all right? So that way they can be able to see, because the more of us that are lit up, the faster we could change the globe. Faster we could change the globe, all right? Keshia Martin, I'll holla at you the next time.